Hello, this is a guide to using computers for ALP coursework. This video looks at some learning tools. A couple of them are in Office 365 and one of them is new to NSCC. It's called Readspeaker. You find that in Brightspace, and if you like that tool, when you learn to use it, you'll find it has use in other contexts. Your learning strategists may refer you to these tools, or after looking at them, you may decide that they suit your learning needs or learning style and want to dig into them deeper. This video is just going to introduce you to them, show you where you can find them in some apps, and remember the document, the big doc that comes with these videos, has a lot of links that you can click on to dig deeper when you're ready, if these tools are for you. So Office 365 has more learning tools. They're not separate tools, but they're kind of layered into other apps. We're just going to look at a couple of them, but the next few screenshots are from a desktop PC in spring 2020. The location of Office commands may differ on Apple devices or after Office updates. So I'm going to also try to show you where you can ask for the menu rather than try to remember where things are in menus. The first we're going to look at is Word Read Aloud. As the title suggests, you can get your word processor to read documents aloud to you. These can be documents that you type yourself and you want to listen to them to see if the sentences make sense, or it can be a document that someone else gives to you that you want to hear rather than read. First, we'll look at the Word Desktop app. I had a student last year who wanted documents read to them, and they liked using Word, so I was able to get them a copy of their sociology book in Word format. They would open a chapter, go to Learning Tools on the menu, and pick Read Aloud, and Word would read the doc to them. Now I sometimes can't remember where to find that menu myself, so there is a box at the top of your Word program and it says tell me what you want to do. So if I type Read Aloud in there, it tells me the best match is the Read Aloud function, and it allows me to turn it on that way. If you use Word Online, it's a slightly different learning tool called Immersive Reader. So again, the best way to find that, I think, is just to say, tell me what you want to do. Say you want to read, and the Immersive Reader option shows up. Once Immersive Reader pops up, on your right, you'll see a lot of options. You don't have to worry about these starting out, but it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of text size. You can change voices of the computer reading to you. You can slow down the voice, speed up the voice. You can change backgrounds if you find that helps you read. You can change the font. When you're ready to read, the Read button usually appears at the bottom center of the screen. So again, you can find that through View and Immersive Reader, or just go to the Tell Me What You Want to Do box and type in Read Aloud. In your big doc, you can click on this link to learn more about learning tools like Immersive Reader. Word also has a function called Dictate. And yeah, as that suggests, you can dictate your words into a document. This does a pretty good job of it too. I've been using text-to-speech functions and apps for almost 20 years, and this is about as good as it gets, and it's absolutely free for you. So the Dictate button's easier to find than the Read Aloud button. It's usually top right and quite prominent. You can click on the link in the big document to see a Dictate demo. So remember, don't type, talk. Not every document is in Word format, though. One way to read a document, such as a PDF document or a web page, is to use Microsoft's browser, which is now called Edge. It has a Read Aloud function. Other browsers have add-ons that you can get, some free, some expensive, that also read aloud. I'm going to show you Edge because it comes for free. So there is a document in a PDF format, which is very common, particularly online. This is Edge. And up to the top right, the Read Aloud button is pretty prominent. Sometimes, especially in a web page, you need to right-click. You press on the right mouse button and the Read Aloud button pops up. So that's the Microsoft Edge web browser. Edge will read most web pages read aloud. With the web page open, right-click and select Read Aloud. You can select settings and more and then read aloud too, but it's much easier to just right-click. You can learn more by clicking on that link in your big document. All of these apps, Word Dictate, Word Read Aloud, Immersive Reader, the Read Aloud function in Edge, all of those functions of apps, you can learn about them at GCF Learn Free, LinkedIn Learning, and watch for workshops on your Learning Commons. Now this year we have more text-to-speech help. It's called Readspeaker. I think it's wonderful. It works with Brightspace and more to help with reading comprehension. And sometimes we just learn better by listening. I know I do. So if you open many views of Brightspace, not every page has this, but many pages do, you will see in the top left-hand corner a button that says Listen. You press that button and it will read the page to you. Readspeaker does more. That Listen button is very prominent when you can use it in Brightspace. So you just press Listen and go. But you can also read aloud content while in a course or download content to listen offline. The Readspeaker tools include a doc reader that reads documents including Microsoft Office, a web reader to read HTML or web pages. It has something called TextAid that reads areas not in the main course content of Brightspace, such as quizzes and announcements and discussions. And TextAid also reads websites outside of Brightspace. And that's a little bit more complicated. It's not terribly complicated, but if you want to access and set up TextAid, you're going to click the link on the menu bar on the Brightspace homepage or click on the TextAid widget within your course. That's a little more complicated. If you're interested in that, you want to dig a little deeper and watch some videos or ask for some help. But you can visit How to Use Readspeaker TextAid for step-by-step activation instructions. And then you can visit How to Use Readspeaker for more information and how-to resources. Technical troubleshooting questions should be directed to the Technology Service Desk. So that's some tools we have to help us learn. Let's review the main ideas with a short quiz show. So we're going to try to match the term with its role. On your left, we have Readspeaker, Edge Read Aloud, Word Dictate, Word Read Aloud, and Word Immersive Reader. On your right, we have the choices Use this to listen to documents in the online version of the app. Use this with a microphone to make text from your speech. Find this read button in Brightspace. Use this tool in Microsoft's web browser. Use this to listen to documents in the desktop app. Okay, Readspeaker. You find that read button in Brightspace. Edge Read Aloud. Use that tool in Microsoft's web browser to read PDF and web pages. Word Dictate, that's an easy one. Use this with a microphone to make text from your speech. Word Read Aloud, use this to listen to documents in the desktop app. And Word Immersive Reader, use this to listen to documents in the online version of the Word app. So Readspeaker tools include Doc Reader, Text Aid, Web Reader, and they have offline options. You probably guessed yes, it has all those options, but remember the main feature, the Listen button, is very easy to use in Brightspace. So try it. This is your challenge for this section. Log on to Brightspace and find a page with the Listen button. And listen instead of read.